Robert, if we could start with you, please. You finished second here in 2009. Can you just give us your thoughts on being back at Interlagos and your hopes for the weekend ahead?
Yeah, it has been a long time ago, actually. Well, it's difficult to say about expectations. You know, we have been struggling all year. So, although 2009, it has been very surprisingly for me finishing on the podium, as it wasn't a great year with BMW. But I would say it's nearly impossible. This time we'll be able to fight for anything higher than what we were doing all year. So yeah, you have to have a pace, and this is what we are lacking all year.
Romain, if we could come on to you, please. You haven't finished in the points since Germany. Can you just describe how difficult the second half of the year has been for you and for the team?
Yeah, good morning, all. Well, yes, I think it's been a rough season generally. We had a very promising winter testing and got to Australia and things were looking good into the pit stop, and actually that pit stop was a bit of a kind of a bad curse for the whole season, and then we had good quali pace and race pace was more difficult, and yeah, I think we are doing the best we can, and honestly on track and off track the boys are working very, very hard, and honestly there's not much to say about what we could do better with what we've got, but as Robert mentioned, I think we're a little bit in the same position at the minute. The car is just not good enough, and everything we do is not reflected on track.
Sergio, if we could come on to you, please. At the summer break, you set the team the target of having the 4th fastest car by the end of the season. How close to that target have you got?
I think in the second half of the season we've been strong in different circuits, different type of places, which is always positive. I think McLaren in that midfield has been very consistent, very strong. But I think we've been in the mix with all the others, and we've scored a good amount of points since the summer break. So I think there is a lot of positives to take, but the general picture, yeah, is not where we want to be.
Daniel, let's come on to you. Have you found some consistency in the car?
We are starting to get some consistency with the car, which is good. I think as well for me, naturally, the more races I do and the more familiar I am with the car, the more I start to probably just myself get consistent, you know, make fewer errors and this and that, and just understand a bit more what works. But yeah, it's been a good run of races for sure. It's sixth in Austin, and you know, it's like 6th is a big deal, and that was exciting. So yeah, we're not spraying champagne on the podium, but there's still a lot of satisfaction to take from a 6th place for us.
Valtteri, thanks for waiting. Would you say this has been your best season in Formula One from a driving point of view?
I believe if I look at it on you know, overall the season, yes, it's been my best so far in Formula One, but for sure not still a season that I'm aiming for. Still need a bit more consistency, fewer mistakes, but the thing that, you know, gives me good feeling and confidence for the future is now actually, you know, really starting to see the work we've been doing with the engineers and what I've been doing with myself and driving wise, and been really able to target many of the weaknesses I've had, and been able to improve my pace in different circumstances quite a lot. So that's very satisfying to see, and makes you kind of to want more.
With the new regulations for the 2021 season, all the teams, they have a limited budget. We spend less money than they used to. Do you guys think that this is going to be indeed the key point to make Formula One more competitive, to bring more teams and drivers to fight for the championship?
I think that is one of the good things for the regulations. I think, you know, having a bit less of a difference between the budgets of different teams. Obviously, there still will be budget differences between some teams, but less than in the past. But I think there's lots of other good things as well that looks really interesting with the new regs. You know, if actually physically, you know, the cars will behave aerodynamically as it says on paper. I think the racing is going to be very close, very tough. I think those are good steps into the right direction, and I really hope that would encourage some new teams to arrive Formula One, because I always think, the more cars we can have on the grid, the more fun we are gonna have racing. So that should be nice.
Daniel.
Yeah, I really agree with everything Valtteri said. I think the last point he touched on is an important one. When it reminded me of 2008, we raced together the first race of the season in Spa. I think there was 48 cars or something, and I think the grid only held 42, so not everyone qualified. But to have a grid so big and full of cars and competitors, that in itself was really exciting. So if these changes do encourage more cars, more teams to get on the grid, then that's I guess not only does it give more opportunity to other drivers to get a seat in Formula One, but yeah, the more competition in the field and as a spectacle, I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, hopefully it has positive change, in many ways.
Obviously, Formula One's talking to Rio potentially for 2021. What does it mean to you to race here at Interlagos and the quality as a race venue?
I know very little about Rio. I've never been there. Well, I think opening up for new tracks, of course, is something which all drivers they look forward for the new challenges and driving on the new tracks. But although it's a short lap here, I still enjoy driving here around, and always races has been quite exciting here for whatever reason. So yeah, I have no really big thoughts about it.
I would like you to rank Interlagos in a comparison with other tracks of the calendar that we have in F1.
Romain, let's start with you this time.
It's in the top 3.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Romain, give us your top 3.
Suzuka, Spa, and Interlagos.
Okay, Daniel?
Wow.
Not tomorrow, please.
No, I'll be. I like it. It's a lot like my local track in Perth. I wish I had more corners. It's a bit short, so the lap's over very quickly. Yeah, I would have loved like an extension. I don't know if they got the room but like a few more corners would have made it a bit more exciting. I think to have a real high-speed corner, I think that's what the circuit misses. I think it's got a lot of technical low speed, and turn 1, 2 is fun, but even turn, I don't know if it's 6, the right-hander, it's actually not that fast. So I wouldn't even classify that as a high-speed corner. So for me, that's something which it's missed is a corner where you can really, I don't want to say make the difference, but yeah, a bit more of a challenging corner, because the rest are kind of mostly, well, they're not all hairpins, but yeah, anyway. So yeah, it's somewhere in there.
That was quick.
Yeah.
So what's the final ranking then?
It's all right.
Daniel, would you say top 10?
Top 20, say.
Checo?
Yeah, it's a cool track, very small. Ideally, I would like it to be a bit longer, more corners. The lap is very short. There was a year where Kimi tried an extension of the track somewhere else. I don't know that part of the circuit, but it's definitely very enjoyable, and the racing tends to be very good. The fans are very enthusiastic, so it's a great place. Top 5, top 10. Leave it at that.